Hello, and thank you again for watching the last video where I discussed the role of the head coaches, what exactly it is that Mike and myself do. And so clearly it should be glaringly obvious by this point that we're not simply cheerleaders or chaperones. We are active participants in this national team process every step of the way, before, during, and certainly we will be afterwards as well. While we do have to shoulder a tremendous amount of responsibility, thank God that we don't have to do this alone. We have two official assistants on this staff, as I mentioned before, Rodney Elm, who also happens to be the NAPF team head coach. And then, of course, my wife, Susie Hartwig Gary, who is one of the most decorated American powerlifters of all time. She has won more than 30 national championships. She has also been a national team head coach. She was the Classic Open Team national head coach from 2016 through 2018, so not long ago. And every single time I have been a head coach, my wife Susie has been an assistant for me. And there is nobody that I would rather have by my side than Susie. She is absolutely outstanding when it comes to game day strategy. She is a phenomenal coach, and I guarantee you she will prove to be an asset to this team, as will, of course, Rodney Elm. So, what do the assistant coaches do? Well, as I said, we will all be arriving early in Lithuania to attend this technical meeting, to verify our roster, to determine if there are any schedule changes. On game day, you are going to have a chaperone at weigh-ins. And that, for the men, in all likelihood, will be Rodney. And for the women, of course, that will be Susie. That is to say, you are not weighing in alone. Oftentimes at nationals or at local competitions, you're used to going into the weigh-in room all by yourself. We want everything to be done ethically. We want everything to be done above board. You as a lifter are allowed to take a chaperone, and we are providing those chaperones, which are our assistant coaches. And so they are going to go in and they are going to verify that your actual body weight gets recorded correctly on your scorecard, on your meet card, and that the openers that you want to open with are correctly transcribed onto the meet card. Sometimes, a 7 can look like a 1, a 4, a 3 can look like an 8 or a 9, and so forth. And so we want to matter-of-factly make sure that the correct numbers are placed on your scorecard so that you can open at the right weights and so that your body weight is recorded accurately. That's the first thing that the assistant coaches will be doing on game day. The second thing, naturally, they are going to be in the warm-up room with us. They are going to be active participants. They are going to help you warm up. They are going to get you ready, observe timing. They're going to be spotting and loading. Your focus on game day is singular. It is execution. Beyond your execution, what we need from you is just feedback when you come off the platform. And you are going to huddle up with us, and we're going to make sure that we get the right weight on the bar. So the assistant coaches, along with the head coaches, are clearly going to be active participants and to play a vital role in this entire process, which is helping to extract your best performance on game day. Some of you might plan on bringing a personal coach or a handler, if you will, and that's fantastic. For some of you, I've already discussed, that might be the person that writes your training or writes your programming. For some others, it might be a family member or a spouse, and that's fine. The IPF changed its bylaws in 2024. And by rule at IPF World Championships, when we have two athletes in a session, which we're going to have in all of these A groups, we're going to have a female and, of course, a male, we are going to be allowed 5 coaches in the back. So it is going to be either myself or Mike, or perhaps both of us. In many cases, we will have Susie and Rodney, and then, of course, your personal coach. When each lifter in the A session has their own personal coach, then one of the assistants or one of us head coaches, in all likelihood, will have the session off, or we'll sit in the audience, and so we can have a maximum of 5 people in the warm-up room assisting. So we invite you to bring your personal coach or your handler. However, an entourage is completely unnecessary. We do not want an entourage. We encourage the rest of your travel party, that is your friends, your family members, and anybody who is not a personal coach. The best way they can support you and support the national team is by being loud and cheering for you in the audience. We invite their enthusiasm and we want them to support you in that way. But we do not invite them into the warm-up room because, as I said, we are only allowed 5 people in the warm-up room when we have 2 lifters, and we don't want too many cooks in the kitchen. So, your personal coach on game day. Look, I've reached out to every personal coach that is coming to the IPF World Championships, and they have been privy to every single email, every single video. As I said before, the foundation of every healthy relationship starts with good communication. And I have invited them to be a part of this process. This is a collaboration. This is not a dictatorship. Sure, as I said before, the head coach has the final authority. We matter-of-factly are going to be submitting the attempts. We are the ones that have to go to the scorer's table and submit the attempts. We are also the ones who approach the jury table in the event that we need to make a protest. But your personal coach or your handler, if they're in the warm-up room, they are going to be with us every step of the way. It is them that I want in your ear. I want them walking up with you to the chalk box. I want them giving you the words of encouragement that you are used to hearing. And look, they know more about your training aside from you, they know more about your training than anyone else. And so we invite that collaboration. We want them to be part of that process. And when you come off the platform, one of the head coaches will be right there. We will have been watching your lift from the coach's box. Your personal coach or handler will likely be standing there at the chalk box. And look, the 3 of us are going to get together and we are going to get that right weight on the bar. So all of this is a long way of saying that we each have individual roles and responsibilities, but you're not doing this alone. And the nice thing is that on game day, you're not going to have to lift a finger. All you're going to have to do is execute and lift the weight on the platform. And I promise you, between the head coach, the assistant coaches, and your personal coach, we are going to take care of everything else. You are going to feel supported and probably never feel like you've been part of such a fantastic team than you will in Lithuania. So unity of purpose is important, and we are all going to be on the same page, and we're just very much looking forward to bringing out your best performance on game day. So thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned for the next video where I'm going to discuss the importance of making lifts.